Hi, this is Michael Senoff with Michael Senoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. The title of this interview is called The Shocking Reason Why You'll Never Get What You Want. Stephen Sisgold, author of the book What Your Body's Telling You, was raised to be a polite child and not express everything he felt. Most of us were raised with similar beliefs and in turn pass them on to our children. In this interview, Stephen Sisgold reveals the truth about what really happens to our early beliefs. Here's what you're going to learn in this interview. The surprising thing you do to undermine your own success. Why people don't believe what you say. Some ideas on how to cure aches and pains and maybe even asthma. What you can do to regain control of your life. Simple strategies for finding success. The one thing you can do now to save your child's life. Why you aren't losing weight no matter how hard you try. And how to get rid of fear and elevated anxiety. Everyone holds many beliefs deep inside themselves. You probably don't know what beliefs are inside of you or how they got there. Steve Sisgold has developed an amazing method for accessing the beliefs that are locked deep inside you. Listen to this interview to learn what miraculous things can happen when you access your deepest beliefs and apply Steve's proven tactics for dealing with them.
Hi, this is Chris Costello, and I've teamed up with Michael Senoff to bring you the world's best health-related interviews. So if you know anyone struggling with their weight, with cancer, diabetes, ADHD, autism, heart disease, or other health issues, send them over to Michael Senoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. Steve, thanks so much for joining us today.
Oh, glad to be here, Chris. Like a lot of kids, I probably felt something, and often we are trained not to say anything, or sometimes we'll say what we feel, like I'm hot, and somebody will say, oh, no, you're not, keep your sweater on, you know. So a lot of us learned really early on not to speak up. But one night I was sitting at the dining room table, and my dad came home and wanted to buy a business. He was all excited. He was just so tired of working so hard and long as a underpaid manager. And my mom, like most people, you know, worried about security. She basically nixed the idea, and I just kept feeling something in my body wanting to blurt out. And all of a sudden, I couldn't take it anymore. It came through, coursed through my whole body. I said, Daddy's a miracle. He can do it. Let him buy it. It was probably about 12 or less. I felt it. And, you know, the beauty of that is that they went the next day and looked, and actually my dad did buy the store. And a week after he bought it, there was a national food strike, or at least a state food strike, and all the big supermarkets closed, and my dad had lines around the corner. Thank goodness that I had that instinct and spoke up and helped him. Of course, he did it, but I think I was definitely part of it by feeling something and not holding it in. So I think it really did help me say, wow, what would have happened if I would have kept that communication in, like most of us, you know, hold it in my body. I'm not saying I consciously got it as much as I did as an adult. I started working with people in advertising and sales and promotion and different things I was doing, and I noticed people weren't breathing. I noticed when someone would say one thing, their body gave another message, and I said, something's off. They're saying they're happy, but their fist is closed, or they're saying they have a great product, but their head's down. And I started then going more into studying body-centered therapy and somatics and just learning more about why do we say one thing but our body gives off another message. Every one of us has beliefs, what I call viral beliefs. Things that happened in our life where either it was traumatic or just something happened that was uncomfortable, and we held our breath, we enrolled our body to hold on to something, and as a result it became a pattern, and we started having beliefs that were coming through our body. For instance, a guy tells me he wants to have a successful business. Okay, say out loud what you want. I want to have I couldn't even get the word successful out. And long story short, as I had him go into his body and really breathe and listen to what his body was telling him, not his mind, he had what I would call somatic recall, or a memory, where when he was young, he was taught from his father. He would say, Dad, why do other kids get toys on Christmas and I don't? And his dad taught him, oh, toys, they cost money, son. And to make a lot of money, you got to get sick. So that's a belief that was taught to him at a young age. His mind forgot about it, but when you saw him and he started to tell you about his business, his body gave off a message like, stay away. So what I would call the belief is, if I'm successful, I'll get sick. And as a result, when he's ready to talk to you about his product or service, in a way he's afraid you're going to say yes because he might get sick. Now his mind doesn't know that, but his body was there from day one. His body has that memory, and the body can be an amazing place for us to find out where these belief systems live and show us what we hold. You know, if the last time we went out on a date we got rejected, if we're not aware of it, we could walk in the next time we have a first date kind of meek and our head down, and we're talking confidently with words, but our body's basically saying, oh, I don't want to get hurt again. Oh, I think so many people are afraid to express themselves. I'm constantly hearing, no matter what the story is, where, you know, people just got caught in patterns, like this one woman who said, nobody ever wants to hear me. And as she went into her body, she got in touch with, when she was younger, how at the table, when she would be talking, her brother would interrupt her, and her parents allowed it. So she started to get this feeling, this evidence, really, this belief that nobody wants to hear from me. The scary thing is that, like many of us, we'll do a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning she'll be sitting with you, and this is what she identified, and the curtain's starting to open for a show, and she'll say to you, hey, let me tell you what happened today, and you go, oh, not right now, the show's starting. See, nobody wants to hear what I have to say, so we wind up getting so caught in the pattern, it's familiar. You know, Chris, about 70% of the people who won the California lottery, when they used to give it out all at once, like $1 million at once, lost it the first year. I think it's in the body. I think their body was familiar with being broke, with being poor, with struggling, with being upset. And they got all that money. It was like, their body couldn't take it. And at some unconscious level, they did whatever it took to get back to that familiar kind of suffering place, because that was more comfortable in their body. So my book has a lot of techniques and ways for us to make the body more comfortable, be able to take something in like, as I get successful, I will be healthy, instead of the body right now is carrying, boy, if I get successful, I'm going to get sick. You know, we can consciously change that. The first thing I tell people is separate the fact from the fiction. A guy calls me, says, my company's downsizing. Okay. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my health coverage. Wait. That's fiction. What's true is your company's downsizing, and what's true is you're afraid. Let's feel into your body around that fear. Let's breathe and see if we can alleviate that fear. See, the mind will take us spinning, and I always say to people, really be careful about where your mind will take you. So the first thing to do is say, wow, let me separate the fact from the fiction so I don't drive myself into more anxiety by making up stories. And then secondly, start to get in touch with your body. Start to take some really deep, full belly breaths so that you can make a connection between your body and your breath, your body and your mind, by breathing. And then from there, do a full body scan from head to toe to notice what is. Like, oh, I'm nervous, or I'm still holding on to something from the morning. I'm tightening my grip. Whatever it is, take a deep breath, acknowledge what that is, and then take some action. It might mean taking a big exhale. It might mean shaking your hand out, the tension out of your fist. It might mean calling somebody you had an argument with that morning and you're still feeling it on your chest. But I think it's important for us to be careful of where the mind takes us, and that's why I'm taking people into the body, so they can actually get in touch with the true anxiety and do something about it, like breathing, moving, telling truth, calling someone, versus holding it in and having it build even more. And often it'll make it happen. If that guy would have kept worrying enough, he might not have gone to work, he might have gotten sick, he might have caused himself to get fired. But instead, he got in touch with the anxiety, and actually, Chris, it's in my book, it's a true story, he actually turned out and wound up making a resume that day versus going home and feeling terrible, or like a lot of us do, and getting into bed or getting drunk, or who knows what people do to just, avoid that pain. He actually got empowered once he realized he was making up a lot of stories. Once he breathed and moved and shook out that initial fear, he then got proactive and made a resume and actually got himself a new job.
Hi, it's Michael Senoff with HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. Many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at HardToFindSeminars.com. So go right now to HardToFindSeminars.com, and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching.